Usually I can hit about 3 spaces or 3 spots, kind of the base of the neck, the middle of the neck, and then the upper portion. I can usually, on somebody's neck, depending on its length, hit like 3 different spots. But I'm just stacking body weight to be able to lean in right here. Totally just hanging out, right? Totally easy, totally calm. I can start to vary just a little bit. I could go shear that way. I could shear this way. I could shear up. I could shear down. And in her case, just a little bit up. How's that? Okay. Do you want more to the front? More to the back?
More to the back.
More to the back. One of the things about the communication that's so good is she doesn't have to wonder if I'm going to hit the spot, because she's telling me. Once she's trained, she goes right into that spot. Don't feel like you're hurting their massage by talking to them verbally. We're trying to get feedback about pressure.
Yeah.
General to specific, superficial to deep. You start with a broad tool. Now, I'm generally more on my ulna, kind of a big, broad forearm. What would happen if I put a pointy elbow? Ow. Right there? Mm-hmm. Okay. And from here, I'm going to lift. I'm going to come up and then put my forearm just a little bit higher. Right. More towards the suboccipitals. More towards the base. Still in the posterior. But I'm definitely more at the base of the skull. Getting towards the suboccipitals. What do you think? A little bit up?
Yeah.
Okay. A little more to the front, a little more to the back. What do you think there? Then a little up. She gives thumbs up. This is the universal sign of please continue. Feel free to breathe, meditate, zone out, think about the future of our world and our species, and whether we're going to go out into the Milky Way. Kristen's dead. She has no idea what I'm saying.
I heard you. It's hard to stay awake to this stuff. I'm like, stop doing that.
So, well, one of the things I think is interesting is I was talking to Chad about this. It's like, is it relaxing?
Yes.
Because I never focus on it in my marketing.
Yeah. No, it's so relaxing. I can't stay awake.
Yeah, you're just like, and we train all the time,
yeah,
and
I'm
like, Kristen, wait, I'm trying to teach here. I'm trying to get some feedback.
I even got sugar and caffeine before I came. I was like, do not fall asleep, and I'm like,
flip to the other side for me. So we're gonna repeat the same thing on the opposite side. This is again us just opening up the upper back, opening up the neck. This is like the preparation for the deeper work that we're going to do, that compression. I want to make sure to get her hair out of the way. So step on. You got cup marks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
I've been trying to maintain.
So again, right next to her, right? Gonna grab right around the shoulder here. Good grip there. So I can lean back and over. This stuff is interesting to me because it looks super simple. Like, I think this isn't very flashy for TV, so to speak.
It's not.
But how's it feel?
So good.
Ding, 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 ding. We have a winner.
Oh, you guys, that was brutal.
Oh, my shoulder feels better.
Yeah, I felt that.
So what I was doing here is like I was kind of moving my shoulder blades while I was opening up her chest, right? So if I just slouch all day, it makes my spine feel cramped. What I was doing was using her as a weight. So I was like leaning back and kind of stretching my own neck, stretching through my own chest, moving my own body.
Hey, this is my session. We both get a stretch in this.
Now, she thinks I'm working on her, but what we do is we trick the receiver into working on us. Right through there. Oh, yeah. So from here, it's like again, trying to get her to give me her shoulder blade just so I can make this free and move. Again, when I'm leaning back, we're primarily hitting, I think, levator scapula and the trapezius. If I roll back, I'm getting a little bit more of pectoralis major and minor, but I want to be able to open that stuff up, which means pulling that shoulder blade down to lengthen levator scapula and trapezius. Though it's a very simple move, this just feels super, super nice. It's deep, but it's usually not like overwhelming to the receiver. Some of the compressions can be a bit much, especially if you're heavy-handed in the beginning. So I think I've opened the bulk of this up. I want to bring her head just a little bit further forward. Again, I just want to create that little bit of length back here. If she has her head back, it feels like there's not as much space for me to lean down with my forearm or elbow. So I'm going to go ahead and come up, kind of change my position because I want to be able to kind of hook right here and get towards the base of the neck. And again, I've got this receptive palm under my thigh so that I can, what do you think, Kristen? In there? Okay, so a little bit up or down? A little bit lower? Okay. Now, posterior? There we go. Now, I wouldn't have thought that was the direction she wanted me to go. But when I give her the option, do you see how it changes the nature of the session? She's able to choose. So instead of me kind of wondering if I'm going to the good spot, she just tells me, oh, right there. When she's well trained, here's what she'll do. She'll take her arm and go, put your elbow. She's like, right there. She almost moves me into position. I want you to understand that as we're teaching, I want you to feel like you can communicate and actually have the person go right to the area that you need help with. The communication helps the session. Right there, Kristen? So when I lean forward, you see where my shoulder is compared to my elbow? The reason why is because I'm trying to do this and like lean almost backwards. I want to be able to lean back so that I can deliver that pressure at the angle that she wanted. I can completely change my body a little lower. What do you think? Or is it better here? Do you see the angle depends on the shoulder to the elbow? If you see me do this with my knees, it's from the hip to the knee. You're looking at that angle to determine how to replicate what we're doing. Right there. He's like, I'm dead. Then I get to change things up and make her think that I'm working on her as I stretch my own arm and pec and right there. Reach to the fingers. Oh, right in there. Then gonna lift up, just give her a second. Some of those compressions can be pretty intense, so sometimes I tend to release very slowly instead of just jumping out. And then also give them just a second to kind of like rest before I go in for the second pass, which is a little bit more to the middle this time. What do you think there, Kristen? Is that too sharp? A little broader? Right there? Okay. Now, up. right there. So I feel like I'm getting at this upper portion again. And again, even though the neck muscles are inordinately complex, you don't need to memorize each of those. It's just to give you an idea of those neck muscles making all those small movements. The ones that I kind of wanted to focus on were the semispinalis capitis and the suboccipitals. As I go more towards the base, do you see how I'm hitting those towards the base of the skull? Right in there. And you do so in a way that allows you to like break dance with the other arm. Yeah. They don't know, they don't even know what you're doing. They can't see. Yeah, you do the, that's right. And Kristen, what do you think? Just a little bit more towards the base right there? Is that too much? Is it too sharp? Okay, it was a little too sharp, a little more towards the elbow. I'm gonna change my position just a little bit. How's that? Is that better? A little rough? Okay, is it too much pressure? Okay, how's that?
Better.
There we go. Now up or down? Up. All right, pressure's okay?
Yeah.
And this is the sort of stuff you have to check on. I've done this 9 million times. She wants just a little lighter pressure up here for whatever reason. Doesn't matter to me. It actually makes her session better when she's able to guide through the session.